Hello guys and welcome back to another video. Today is Germinal's and first anniversary. Yeah, the series is now a year old. So congratulations to everyone that have followed along the way. It's been a long day, and so for this episode I would like to do like a review series. Like we want to see how we change along the way. So without further ado, let's get started. So the video starts out with me in the loading screen, just basically explaining about how the series is gonna go and how it's gonna go, project it's gonna go in the future. While we're in here in the loading screen, and basically we were just waiting. So yeah, I just had to see here. Now at the time they only got a lot of didn't got a lot of good recording space, but if you skip forward, then that's when we go in. So yeah, at the time, yeah, I didn't really got good equipment, so my camera kind of kept on falling off. And yes, it got a finger reveal. So at the time, yeah, the neighborhood was kind of small. If we could pause at the right moment and see how everything has changed along the way. So as you can see, I was kind of out here doing some stuff, and as we continue on, as you can see, I just accidentally placed a dirt block. So as you can kind of see the bottom of the house. You can see that at that time, my house was made out of wood planks and crimson planks for the flooring. Nowadays, it's pretty big, but back then, I also used lanterns. This was the inside of the house. If you've been an OG, you'll probably know what this is. Probably remember it along the way. I accidentally placed on that dirt block. Break it. Another time I was preparing for summer. However, nowadays I wait until like the last month of spring before the last few weeks of spring before it's summertime, and I sleep in the bed. And the entire thing, like the entire, if I could explain it, the entire moral of this whole episode is to like try and know what do you do on the first day. Like if you did something for a few weeks, then you're trying to start recording the series about it. You really need to know how to work on it. So as you can see here. So let's get into the next episode. So for this next episode, it was just me just mining a mountain. As you can see, the quality wasn't really good. Even a very high quality, it didn't really look good. As you can see, you kind of saw me, but I'll do a full face review soon. Some inside choker box, and as you see, I'm gonna have a pickaxe. I'm mining them down. And add-ons right nowadays they're kind of outdated. And then as you see, the terrain is flat. Now, if I'm able to get the highest quality, so 360 specific, let's go for 720. That's kind of this device could wanted. So as you can see, it's dark. At the time I used a resource pack to make it more realistic. I missed that. Pack by the way. Oh, it's waiting. So I made to lower down the pad. As you can see, so let me hang on. As you can see, the channel is mining a mountain, which at the time I didn't really understand the difference between a mountain and a hill. So yeah, now there's another difference. The new mountain biomes, and as you can see, I'm going back inside my house again. Not really a lot has changed with my house, but as we go on, a lot of changes are going to happen. So yeah, but here, this is really nostalgic. Like at the time, I was in like a different grade, so I remember the grade. Now I'm in like a different grade. As you can see, it's my bedroom. Again, the thing I did in the episode is I slept, and that's what for this episode. So let's move on to the next one. So for the third episode, it was kind of me just knowing what to do, and I basically did the intro, stuff like that. However, at the time, but I didn't really knew a lot about equipment, so yeah. As you can see, I also had like a crimson planks and like a crimson arch. I really miss the old days. As you can see, the church was kind of destroyed, so I decided to replace it with some blocks. And then a spider was in there. I was like, ah, maybe you guys may be able to show some, yeah. And here's my at the time my reaction was like this. And then higher up the volume. Spider right there. Okay, I'm gonna ignore that. That's how my voice was at the time. So yeah, as this is also a different house I was planning on building. However, I kind of like messed it up. At the time I stopped signs, but those are now gone. The island is now expanding, so as you can see. I kind of expanded the grass blocks I had. I could expand it even more. And then as you can see, but didn't really knew how to do the trick because a lot of people were doing it. I didn't really knew how to do it, so I started to like practice with it. And the entire episode is all of them, which I didn't really do at all. It was just like expanding the island because I didn't really knew about Titus. So let's move on to the next episode. So it's just like the last episode says of me doing the intro, and as you can see, the world has expanded. I didn't go to the treasure window, and we go to this build, go back inside my house, as we do pretty much every single time at the time. I don't know if you guys didn't notice, but my skin actually changed a lot. First, it was just like from the marketplace. Now it's changed to use the character creator. See, at the time, it really depended on which one I could really use. Nowadays, it's like 8x8 for pretty much everybody, but back then I used to be like a 64 and 64. And I walked on my house. There's a lot of weird stuff in skies because there's a resource pack for only this episode. And just to let you know, there is this music that I can't actually realized.
Holy crap!
Yeah, when I first saw an enemy, I was like, what the heck? And teleporting, I didn't really knew why because I was a freaking, thing. I had like a soft brain. Yeah, I also had clear glass on them, and I really missed that. And yeah, there was a lot of weird things going, like blackstone. I decided to put some cobblestone because of destruction. A door was missing. And then it's like a church or like what do you call them nowadays? I don't know, really, it's like a church. It's also a month after the pandemic started, so yeah. It looks like gray stone, but it's actually just black concrete, except the texturing at the time, the weird look. It may also say lines. That was because it was like I was using a low-end device. Nowadays I'm using like kind of one of those like high-end devices, but not really big as a computer. There's a hole in there, so I jumped over it. It was really bad at the time because you were only able to see like half the screen. And anyways, let's move on to the next episode. So this is episode 5. And at the beginning, I was attacked by a zombie, and just to let you know, I was scared at the time.
Welcome back to City Club, and I'm already getting attacked. Welcome back to City Club, and I'm already getting attacked by zombies. Oh my god!
Yeah, I really got some weird voices back in the day. I really miss my old voice. I wish I could like bring it back. Yeah, I was getting attacked by mobs pretty much almost right away. Not even before I started the intro. So yeah, this is also like at the time this was like the longest episode. It actually kind of is right now. It's like the longest episode, and it was an episode from the early days. So a lot of things have changed since the first episode. Basically, I was getting attacked by these weird monsters at the time. I didn't really call them because I thought the zombie villager, as I call them now, was like green human. So yeah, I also believe it was like a soft brain. Okay, I'm not gonna say the I word or the D word. I'm just gonna say soft brain. But yeah, here's my reaction with this base.
Oh, actually, you know what? I'm gonna leave. You know that zombies gonna have their own weapons when they become drowned.
So yeah, I actually did that move, and if you guys have watched Descendants, you probably know that move where one of the characters just jumps into the ocean after trying to speak like mind control characters. Yeah, I was trying to do the same thing, but at the time it didn't really got good at things, and I killed a spider. So yeah, moving a little bit forward, it was all again like episode 3, all of them, but I didn't really did all of them, so it's kind of a match which one I should do, which one I shouldn't do. Yo, there's a creeper. I was like, what the heck is that? Let's play that again.
What is it? It's coming. Nope, it's Genius. It decided to go 2 blocks away. Genius. What is it? Ooh. Hey. Ooh.
Yeah, I was kind of getting scared because what if the creeper blew up? But if it blows up nowadays, it normally works because you can easily patch it up. And this episode's kind of long, so I'm making sure that you guys can go watch the episode. It's actually on that series right now. So yeah, I looked at Enderman by accident, and then a lot of bad things has happened in this episode. Let's move on to the next episode. Now this episode, oh boy, look at my skin. It has changed, so it's no longer the felt things. And as you can see, my skin now has blue hair. Back then it only had like brown hair. Now it's blue hair. And it has a wet jacket. I mean, orange. I'm not colorblind, guys, don't worry. So yeah, a lot of things didn't really happen in this episode. I mean, the entire purpose was just fighting. It even sets up in a neighborhood. And I'm gonna pause it. I'm gonna show my reaction at the time.
It's Sunday, so we're gonna go to church at 6 p.m. I'm gonna do like a vlog video about me in church. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to church. It's the place where we pray that the world will not end. And
So yeah, I was a pretty big soft brainer at the time because I thought churches nowadays in real life is actually gonna go well, but in Minecraft at the time it was just I was a soft brainer. So yeah, it was basically one of those episodes where as soon as you know it, you just have to see it again and like, oh my god, what I did almost a year ago. Let's move on to the next one. Now, this episode's not episode 7, it's episode 8. If you're wondering why, well, I actually once had an episode 7, however, it just got a lot of hate because like people were saying it was fake, it was like so planned, it didn't really did well. And because of that, I decided to unlist it, but because there was a few people at the time, it just got a lot of hate, so I actually had to delete the video and now lost the files, and it was a pretty big tragedy just having to skip an episode just because of what happened in the episode. So basically what was going on in this episode, and if you really didn't realize, as you can see, we got this. Yeah, I was a pretty weird boy at the time. You guys noticed it? They may be able to show it. So basically, the entire episode was like, was getting attacked by a lot of weird humanoid things. At the time, I called them human, now I called them mobs. But it was basically just fighting and basically waiting for an entire life just to separate. Now, episode 9. This is the episode when I first showed off the Nether for the very first time. And at the Nether time, it was kind of like the Nether of the betas, okay? I was in the beta, and I was checking the new Nether for a little, and I was like, okay, I had to make this a surprise for my viewers because they probably do not know about beta. And I was just like, guys, this is a beta, okay? It's not fake. It's just a beta, okay? It's a mod. It's not a mod, okay? Now, at the time I was using resource pack, but I didn't realize that this resource pack actually changed the Enderman. Like I meant the zombie zombified Pigman back into its original zombie Pigman. So I didn't realize that because it was just an update to 1.16. It was only at 1.15 betas and 1.14 at this as of this time. So yeah, I was basically checking out the end. The Nether I meant. I didn't show up the end until the next episode. And a lot of things that were from episode 7 is now here, like the traffic lights, detailed trees, changes of the church, and literally a lot of things happened in episode 9 episode, yeah. I also found a phantom. Like, what the heck is a phantom doing there? And now this was just spawning in issues. And let's move on to episode 10. So, episode 10. This episode was the first episode where we showed off the end. Now, at the time, I didn't really thought about an end update. I really more focused on the Nether update. But nowadays, I literally created a new playlist just for the end update. Now, I had to use some water techniques just to get up. As you can see, so I wasn't really like a soft brainer at the time. But yeah, as you can see, there's a lot of issues with with the thing. As you can see, it was just pretty boring. Like there wasn't really a lot at the end. For me, I just ignored them. Just nowadays, whenever I go to the end, I pretty much install some animals and pretty much add an end update. Got this? It just looks like a moon. It looks like just one big chunk of wet rock that looks like it has pebbles in it. So yeah, I decided to bet on the Ender Dragon. Not really important to me nowadays. I just want to fight the Wooden Storm and stuff like that. And that was really it. Just fighting the Ender Dragon. Do some techniques that I didn't really realize until the episode came out, and it was just really there. Episode 11 now. And this episode, before I get into everything, this was the very first time that I showed off my skin. Now, at the time, it was from the marketplace. Nowadays, I use the craft decorator, but this was my skin. So yeah, a lot of things has changed. So basically, what I did is to mine an entire basalt deltas. Not a joke. I actually did, but only like I think 1/16 of it, not all of it. Nowadays, I'm trying to like mine the entire Nether. I don't know, but there's some people in the community that are like, trying to make. They're trying to like implement the what. So let's just move on. Now, episode 12. It was basically doing the same thing. I was mining the best of this time I was building a black skull. Yeah, it was kind of weird at the time. So in some of these clips, you may I got like the entire like 4 stacks of just polished blackstone. Basically over tutorial, been lost again. So yeah, it's never made it into the full release. Episode 13. It was basically the same thing. So this was like the shortest of the one. It was mainly episode 13. So now let's move on. Episode 14. Now, this episode was the first. This is one of the last episodes to actually, get one of those like things that took advantage of in time. Okay, that's what I could describe. And basically, I was just mining for quartz. Not only an important thing, but I was just mining for quartz. Now, episode 15. This one is just titled Mine. So, when I skip a little bit, you might see some things that are not only related to the title, more or less just there. I was just out mining for something, just not really a lot, so just move on to the next one. Episode 16. Now, just like episode 8, that was like 8 episodes ago, it was just fighting, so again, not really important, but it's just there for fun. Episode 17. Now, this episode was quite different from the episodes. I think 8 or 9 was just way different. Instead of like getting right into the episode, I actually decided to implement a song that I made that I decided to do, which at the time looked terrible. And then I would then do the episode. So instead of the episode, I also put out the song in the beginning and then the episode. That's just how it works. Now let's actually go to the actual episode and what's going on. As you can see, I was inside this building that I created, and it was I basically called it the Basalt Factory because it was made out of basalt, and it's kind of like a factory. If you guys watch this episode, you may remember this one. So it wasn't really showed off a lot. I was just like going around the entire building. So yeah, it's kind of sad to see some of my builds have to go bye-bye and new builds replacing it, because this was later replaced by the big Blackstone build that I had now. If you guys know what I'm talking about, you guys know what it is. So yeah, sadly a lot of builds had to go away and get replaced by new ones. Episode 18. Now this was again a mining episode, but with a twist. Instead of just getting in like the same speed as other things, I decided to speed it up by twice so you won't get bored and have to wait like 20 minutes or an hour just for me to see me mining. So yeah, it looks like that's really sped up, but if you guys watch it, you might notice the speed up. And I basically implemented the song, and the song goes like this. So yeah, it's basically the song. When I be able to like stuff like that, but I'm not gonna be able to show. This is some music, so yeah. Episode 19, as you can literally see it, it's a skull mining again, so it's just mining. I'm not gonna even show any footage. Episode 20. Now this is the building one, and at the time I was building something that I don't really know what it's building, and I lost the build because it was again replaced by a different building. So it was basically showing off my building tips and how I was building something. That's really it. Episode 21. I started with an error. I don't know what happened, but that's like this. Anyways, we go into a grinder that I showed off. And it's basically a shotgun grinder which uses the creepers, and I decided to put in a plugin which adds some hot saw monsters from my creeper, and that's really it. This episode, just like the other episodes, it's just me mining, so this is not really important. Just like the other episodes, I was just going out mining. Now this one's, they think, the shortest episode instead of the longest, so it's like the opposite. It's not the shortest episode. I don't know, maybe a video could like beat that, I have no idea, but this is the shortest and I was just mining. Episode 24, it was just one of those episodes where Episode 24. This episode was a weird one because it was me fighting the strongest enemy in the world at the time, the wizard. Now, I didn't really knew a lot about the wizard because, first of all, it could go really long. It's basically on steroids. And second, I didn't realize it could actually break through bedrock. And no, actually, I meant obsidian. I meant. So yeah, I didn't realize that until later on. Episode 29, I mean 25. This is an episode where I was just doing experiments on a copied world to know what I'm doing. And that's really it for this episode. Episode 26, I think. Now, this episode was basically fighting Ender Dragon again, except with something. And this was basically one of the last episodes were actually in this chapter 1 thing. Later on will become chapter 2. Another basically fighting Ender Dragon again. Episode 27. Now, because in episode 24, I didn't really get to finish the wizard. Now this time I am gonna finish the wizard. And it's just me fighting the wizard again. I did manage to defeat it, but it's not really important. Episode 28, the new season, and a lot of things has changed. As you can see, the landscape is now different. A lot of things are going on, but it was just me thinking. That's really it for a new world. Episode 29. Now, that's also one of the only episodes. I think it's the only episode that's actually divided into some parts. So it has 3 parts, and it's just me defeating the wave. That's it. Now, episode 30. This was a big one. Now, why are you thinking it was a big one? Well, this was when I was starting to experiment add-ons for the very first time. Experiment them in my rain world instead of just making a copy of it. This was also the episode that changed my town. As you can see, my town looks completely different. As you can see, it looks like I just decided to get the entire town. Let's mesh it up. As you can see, we got new animals like an elephant and weird humanoid things. As you can see, you see the white thing, it wasn't there. You see the house over there you briefly see, that wasn't there. It was there, it just changed. See that stone brick thing? That wasn't there, so it was basically the episode that changed the town. Episode 32. This was when I showed off the brand new stone brick thing I've been working on almost every single day. And this was the first introduction of it, so it was really cool to see it. A lot of wavy things happened. I also got shaders for the first time, so that's good. Something else about episode 32 is when I showed up the brand new end, which if I go, I think here, okay, I think you'll be able to see it. There we go. We got new end guests, and it changes the kind of thing, but there we go. As you can see, one of the new buy. Episode 33. Now, just like episode 32, this is when I showed up a little bit more of the whole thing, so yeah, it was just there for some reason. Episode 35. Now, this episode was the episode where I started experimenting with add-ons and actually started making my own add-ons. And, oh my god, that creeper's on drugs, as I said it. Now, this episode is also hyped up because there's one feature that really stood out to me and I really want to show it to all you guys, and was villager brutes. And maybe, if you watch this episode, you may be able to see them. Episode 36. Now, this episode was actually a episode that, just like 34, it was just there. Like, there wasn't really any purpose to seeing it, other just kind of like expanded. So it's going through there, and there's a lot of these NPC things. It was just there for some reason. Episode 37. Now, this episode, I actually decided to try out the old method I used to do again, and it just looked weird. The quality was weird, the whole thing was weird, however, it was in a new world, so yeah. And here we are now. This new song is released, it was kind of weird there because it took a long time. And now as we see over here in 2021, a lot of things has changed in our way because we went from April 24th, 2020 and just weird things to now over here in April 24, 2021, and it got better equipment, better recordings, better, things for me in my life, and just there. Now, before I leave off the episode, I just want to let you know that either tonight or tomorrow, I will be releasing a new series, which I'm not going to say the name yet, so go see the video if you want to know the name. And this series is basically going to be like the survival series, so like it's like basically the series, except it's survival mode almost every single time. So it's basically a double gang except no mods, it was just completely vanilla. Anyways, this is just like a recap of what we did for the past year or so. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you got some weird some memories of how we changed along the way. And I'll see you next time. Bye.